Intro. Hello, welcome to 500th video.
As you may have guessed, this is something a little bit different. I'm Tom, I'm joined with Rob and Leo, and we're the Bunker. Today we are doing our 500th video, which is awesome for us, and we have been requested to do a sit and chat about the hobby. Yeah, it's not for kids. All opinions are our own, and as always with us, we love all games and all systems. We don't bash anything. Our opinions are our own. Some of us play games, some of us don't play games. We hope you enjoy. Do let us know.
Maybe missed my fish joke and your psychic joke.
What fish, Joe?
You've missed it.
There's two fish in a tank and one says to the other, I don't know how to drive this.
Hi everyone, it's Tom, Leo and Rob from The Bunker, and today is a very special occasion.
Is it?
It's
I didn't expect that. You just sort of went, it's a special occasion.
It's our 500th video!
It's our 500th video.
Yeah!
Which is just basically me dicking about for most of it on the internet.
Pretty much.
We went out to people on our Facebook,
Our social medias.
social medias. If you aren't on our social medias, join them, because there are actually some really sound people on there that are like us, like some makes play games.
Sure,
Don't take it.
in. Make me not look stupid.
Yeah, don't take it seriously and so on and so forth. And we said, would you like us to sit and talk about like hobby news and things that's going on in our hobby world? And the answer was yes. For the first one, we sort of put a rough agenda together. And if this is popular, we will have people come and join us and you can post questions and so on and so forth. What's the first thing then, Rob?
Right. Hobby news.
Hobby news.
So,
okay.
Hobby news.
So basically, there's loads of channels out there that do like hobby news. So
Yes.
I thought we'd have a go and do it really shit. But I think the biggest news, in my opinion, and I'm really interested to see what you guys think about this, is probably 10th edition 40k.
Well, as we all know, I hate 40k.
So Rob's not a fan.
I haven't played 40k since 8th edition.
I played 8th actually. That's how I came back into hobby at 8th.
Yeah, I started in 8th.
You know, I started in 2nd.
I didn't.
I'm older than you.
You're around the age of 35?
38.
So I played it, started in like 2nd edition, when you could get like a cardboard
Dreadnought.
Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the Gabble Dreadnought.
And
had that one as well.
I played 9th edition and went to tournaments and just got tabled continuously. Like, it was so hard, like my grandkids are tabled. That's how hard I got tabled. And then I've just not bothered with 10th. Now, I absolutely love the lore.
I love the lore.
And I love the miniatures. And I love the background they've created. I just don't know what it is about the game.
I started playing. Sorry to interrupt. I came back in at 8th. I played fairly hard and just got bored of it really, really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, like our local scene is pretty dominated by 40k.
Yes.
It's pretty dominated by it. Well, so have you ever played it?
Oh, I played 8th edition quite a bit. I was never any good at it. I never went to any big tournaments. You know, just
I might as well have not been there.
Well, yeah. Just
I
loving
think
it.
I've done one tournament.
And, you know, I think that I've really been kept in by the models and the, you know, because it was my introduction to wargaming and miniature gaming all together, and I loved it. I like making stupid things with miniatures. But honestly, I think Games Workshop, they make great models. Some people writing the background and the lore and the stories and the books are good.
Yeah.
Some are kind of shit.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest here. Some of them are kind of bad. And the rules, they really feel undercooked. You know, it's like they make fantastic looking models. Like, some of them are just stunning to look at. I wouldn't want to paint them, but they're stunning to look at other people who have painted them. And I just feel like they're firing on 2 cylinders when they've got 3, and the third one has just fucking exploded and just gone right through the window. You know.
So you were worried that you were going to What's your favourite? What in your opinion, what's the best 40k model?
Well, I'm kind of biased because mostly because I have stupid ideas about certain models. I really like I can't remember what he's called. He's the new Imperial Guard commander on the robot horse.
Oh.
But I only like him.
Lord Solar Auxiliary.
Yeah, I only like the only reason I really like him is because I want to put him on a dinosaur.
Okay.
Which doesn't make much sense when it comes to choosing a favourite model.
I like him because I want his hat.
That's basically it. I want to do things to him.
That's a cut to us. Right.
In an okay way.
Yeah, right, okay.
You know,
What about you, Rob?
Favourite 40k one? I mean, I'm going classic Thunderhawk.
You like
Thunderhawk? I love... No, sorry, not even the Thunderhawk. The one that carried the tanks.
Oh, the Thunderhawk drop ship.
I have no idea what it was
The
called.
one that basically you could buy it from like 412 for like 400-500 quid.
Yeah, it had
absolutely
a couple of
useless.
rhinos. You didn't use it, it just looked insane.
It dropped a pair of rhinos. You couldn't put the flight stick on if you wanted to have the rhinos on it. Yeah.
I absolutely love that model, and I almost bought one a couple of times, but just 500 quid on a model I'm never going to use.
For a game you don't play.
For a game I don't play.
And that, everybody, is walking.
Can I change mine?
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to change it to one of the really old, like, first edition, I think they're called Screamer Killers.
Yeah.
Is that the Tyranid?
No, it's the ones with the giant cannons, like Pyrophores or something, just because they look like giant Tyranid dicks.
Okay. I honestly thought you were going to go second edition Gretchen.
True.
Oh, God.
God, there's a lot of just really good because they're kind of shit, but also quite fun models.
I must admit, the coming from, I say, starting in second edition, we had Space Marine, Gretchen,
Everything.
Goth with his
The
boulders.
miniatures have come on like leaps and bounds. I mean, I really liked, I think is it Orion Rakarth, the second one, where he's like a floating homonicline for Dark Eldar? I think it was Juan Diaz that sculpted him by hand.
And I know all the names of everybody's collections.
I think, don't hold me to that. We'll put a little picture up. And I just think that's just incredible. To me, like 40k is all about these freaky alien societies and how weird they are, but you know he's weird and evil and twisted because of the background. Yeah. Now, cool is the fact that he just gets bolted off in the game is just by the by. But yeah, 10th edition is it. No one is. We're not hating on anything or anyone or anything like that, but I just don't know. I think they need to do something serious to revitalise it for me. I don't know if you heard, Leo, but they leaked the rules and all the cards and stuff like that, and then they banned Eldar in tournament play because they were too powerful before the game came out.
I heard about that. I was squats. I can't
remember. Oh, the Votan.
That was
Votan.
back in the 9th, that.
Yeah.
They released them in 9th and then banned them in 9th.
Some people banned them.
Banned them back. They were banned back in 9th.
Is it because they're like the Ironhead squads from Necromunda, where just everything is rapid fire 4?
No, so basically in 9th, so basically the Votan came out and everyone went, squats, awesome, squats, you know.
But then power creep.
Yeah, power creep basically just said, oh well, I automatically hit you on a 4+, and it counts as a 6 to hit, which automatically wounds you and does like D6 wounds, and you could just basically go, I don't have to roll any dice and you're dead.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Games Workshop.
Strikes again.
Again, and disclaimer, we're not hating on Games Workshop because we play a lot of Games Workshop.
No, we do play a lot of Games Workshop games.
I mean, I do. I play some. I play video games, which they don't make. Okay, so I don't play much Games Workshop. I play Games Workshop affiliated things.
But you're a fan of the lore, basically.
Yeah.
But I find their specialist games are the way forward.
So we play a lot of Necromunda, don't we? I play a lot of 30k. 30k I absolutely love. I think it's, I don't know if it's because you can't over break something when everybody's the same thing.
No,
just a different, like,
it feels like
colour. I don't know.
That'd be pretty hard to do, but
like everyone's a marine.
Sure someone will do it.
So I'm sure they will. Eventually they'll bring something out which just
destroys
ignores the rules. Yeah, which is the issue, I guess. And let's not forget, Games Workshop are a business.
Yeah.
All miniature companies are a business.
Yeah.
Models.
I'll go out there and say they are pretty close to second to nobody for miniatures, I think.
They make a lovely model.
They make an incredible miniature, and their production, their books are beautiful, and their background's beautiful, and we've had some fantastic games.
Yeah.
You can play things, and this leads nicely onto the next sort of hobby news for me, which is Epic's coming back.
30k, yeah.
And it's set in the world of the Horus Heresy. So it's going to be Legion Imperialis?
Yes.
I think it's called.
Because I think I remember I saw it, and they had the Adeptus Titanicus.
Yeah.
And the Aeronautica.
So if you've got Aeronautica and Adeptus Titanicus, you can use those miniatures.
So annoyingly, I just sold all my Adeptus Titanicus.
Buy it again. I don't think Titans will be a massive, massive part of it. I think from looking at the box, so in the box you get a couple of Warhound Titans, and then there's a lot of bases of like 5 Marines.
They always were, weren't they?
Yeah,
little,
yeah.
Again, I
Little circles.
I had a couple of epic miniatures back in the day. They scared the crap out of me because I didn't know how people paint those.
Less is more with them. Yeah, I'll show you how
So
to paint them.
just spray black.
Yeah, we're getting entire Legion done in 2 hours.
These are my Raven Guard.
Raven Guard, got a white here and there, drops a good one. But there's Solar Auxiliary in the box as well, which I think is quite
I
interesting.
always wanted a massive Imperial Guard tank army.
Oh, bro.
Have you got a massive Imperial Guard tank
I
army?
think I've got 13, maybe 14 Lehman Russes. I've got 3 Basilisks, a Baneblade. I want another Baneblade, but you know, they're not big models.
I had a Beyblade back in the day when you guys got
it,
big.
you know, I still remember. Sorry, this is completely unrelated.
No.
One of my favorite,
I think that's
one of my
the theme
favourite
the video.
moments was when my Baneblade died, exploded, and killed the one guy securing an objective, so I won.
Nice.
How can you don't play 40k and you've got a tank company?
Yeah.
That's wargaming everyone.
Well, I picked it up when I was playing more, and then
Yeah,
just
no,
9th
no,
edition just
yeah.
came and went whilst I was at uni, and I didn't play it pretty much at all. Now it's 10th edition, I'm like, should I pick it up again? Oh wait, 10th edition isn't that great. Maybe I'll wait till 11th.
Epic. I think there's going to be some play in Epic. I am definitely going to play Epic. I think I like the look of the box. I'm kind of hoping that because the miniatures are so small, that it's not going to be super expensive. Because if they're charging 180 quid for a box with a blokes are like that,
Okay, so
there's 250 men in the box.
Shall we place bets now? Cost of an epic box set.
It's going to be the same as a normal 30k box.
What's the 30k box set?
Like 120?
Yeah, I reckon it'll be the same.
I mean, I don't know.
It's not going to be any cheaper.
How many minis are actually in it?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Yeah, I guess they'll.
Are you counting each marine now?
Or are they Warhound in it? The Warhounds are like dreadnought sized, I think.
Yeah.
So they're going to cost like a pretty penny each.
You see, but then, if they put terrain in the box, that might...
Will it be, obviously it would be epic scale terrain.
Yeah.
It's like...
Hundreds, they say there's hundreds of miniatures in there, and my concern is they're counting each individual bloke.
They're going to do that, and
Yeah.
it's not going to count the fact that, you know, it's 5 blokes to a single squad,
Base,
or like
yeah.
a single base, and you've got like 20 bases.
Yeah, no.
They're going to just say, hundreds of miniatures. Here's one of your miniatures, here's another one.
You know what you might be able to do though? Is get 5 marines for a £5 again. Remember those days?
Oh god, yeah, do you remember that? Free ride. There's, you know what's going to happen? They'll say, oh yeah, they go, oh yeah, it's Lehman Russ and stuff like that, isn't it? Malcador tanks, and you're like, how much were Aeronautica Imperialis planes?
Ooh. I mean, they were 30 quid a box, give or take, weren't they? Just depending on where you bought them from. Let's say averaging around 25 quid for a...
So if you say 25 quid because you're going Wayland or Element Games or something like that, that is the price point that these boxes are going to be.
Yeah.
They're not going to bring out a tenner box, are they?
No.
Not for people that play 30k.
No. Well, okay, let's look at the GW model. Necromanda Gang, 25 quid.
Yeah.
Dreadnought, 25 quid.
Yeah. Now you might...
Depends on the dreadnought.
Yeah.
Well, good point.
Like the easy build Redemptor, that was 25 quid. But the actual normal, the proper build your own Redemptor, that was closer to 40.
Really?
Yeah,
It was
very
expensive.
Yeah,
Like,
very
that's
expensive.
obviously that's different to your normal dreadnoughts
If
because
you look
it's
at
a
it-
bigger model.
If you look at it from sort of sprues,
So like they put 2 half sprues in a box, like an Necromunda gang, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now I reckon on 2 half sprues you'll get all the Marines.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Like all the men.
Oh, that's true.
Unless the tanks are on the sprue as well.
I have no idea.
I mean, I bought some epic scale size things recently. Land Raiders and Marines. They were about, but again, this was a third party, it wasn't G-Dubs. They were about 15 for 5 Land Raiders and a bunch of men, but again, third party, probably going to be cheaper.
It's 30 quid a box.
Oh, easy.
The main box set will be a saving. So
Yeah,
if you look at it,
always
right,
is.
say it's 30 quid for the... What are the Titans? 30 quid for 2 of them?
Again, depends on what you're buying. The
35 quid for 2?
What are the Warhounds coming in boxes too?
2, don't they? Because
Yeah.
that's how they fight.
Yeah.
So they say that's 40 quid. Yeah. And then you've probably got a box for Solar Auxiliary, a box for this. That's 100 quid there if you're buying it separately. Put some terrain in it, hardback rulebook, dice, templates, whatever. It's 120 quid box.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
So I think
Easy.
120 is a reasonable point to put the bet.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to get it from third parties and like online retailers that do a good discount, and we all do them and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, I'm excited for Epic. I'm excited to see. I'm hoping it's 4x4 game board, but you don't know. I'm excited to see how it plays, and it'd be interesting to sort of get in at the start of Epic.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
I
I think these games can snowball quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that's
If you don't
something
keep
actually,
up.
Games Workshop, they've been rehashing a lot of their older games. I remember they redid Space Hulk at one point.
Yeah.
They redid Necromunda, Aeronauta Imperialis, Adeptus Titanicus, all sorts of games. They've just taken the old ones, updated it with new models and new rules.
Battlefield Gothic, that's what
That's
I
what
want.
I want.
I
Set in
mean,
the 30k
It'll
universe.
be thick.
believe it or not, I'm also wanting a physical Battlefleet Gothic game. Mostly because I played the computer game. Again, most of my
It's supposed to be
experience,
really good. It's really good.
it's a really good game.
Yeah.
Like the second one,
Yeah.
I would argue, is better than the first one. But the first one was all right. Second one, I think, is great. I never did much multiplayer. I just like to crash my big orc ships into the little tiny ships
Very orky.
by pushing the big red button.
That's fair enough.
I actually had a look at some of the old rules, and it does a reasonably good job of taking those rules into a video game setting.
I think Gothic will come. If you look at it on a release schedule, so Epic's the big thing this year.
Yeah.
For 30k in the Horus Heresy universe. It's been 2 years since Horus Heresy came out, roughly, by the time Epic comes out. Do you reckon 2 years' time? So they've joined Titanicus and Aeronautica Imperialis essentially into one system.
Yeah.
If you look at it as you've got the up close things where you can put your Primarch down and fight at sort of 28mm scale. Now you've got Epic, what, 6mm scale?
It's like heroic, like 6 mil.
Heroic
Not
6mm.
very, yeah.
And then Gothic.
Oh no,
So you can fight
I mean,
planetary invasions.
heroic is like the 24 mil. Epic
Yeah.
is the actual name of the scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, that's why it's called Epic.
Yeah, it's Epic scale. There you go.
Because it's not the same scale as the old Epic, is it?
No,
This is slightly bigger.
slightly bigger because
Because everything's else is slightly bigger.
I mean, if you look at the size of the Thunder Orc from Aeronautica Imperialis, I'm assuming that'll tell you how big a man is.
It was
Well, that's
probably about that big.
the problem is
It's a beastly bit
It
of
might be
kit.
bigger than what you think. This then.
See, I think
Yeah.
the problem is, I don't believe the Adeptus Titanicus stuff and the Aeronautica Imperialis is actually of the same scale.
I've said this, and
Like,
we've
like-
made comparisons with Titans to, and if you think the I mentioned earlier the Thunderhawk,
It's a big model.
it's a big bit of kit, isn't it?
Obviously, Titans are massive, but it's
Yeah.
like, you stick like a Lightning Imperial Guard fighter, it's like, this feels too big.
Yeah. Especially when you see them in the lore, they're city-sized monsters, aren't they?
I wonder if there'll be the aspect of flyers, Aeronautica Imperialis, that do a bombing strafing run. I don't know. Because the bases are going to have to be different as well, aren't they?
Well, yeah, you're not going to have your heads grid system on your on your border, is you?
Well,
You have to
surely
build.
not.
You have to build an intricate rail system going over the top of the board. You just hang and then just attach to guide wires.
Don't. Somebody will do it. Pete will do it. But yeah, so Epic's coming out, which I think is really, really cool. Excited to do it. I think I'm definitely going to say right now I'm getting the game, but I'm getting that.
I want it. I'm gonna have to look at the price.
Yeah.
Leah's just like that.
If you get a box and you're like, hey Leo, you want to have a game? I'll be like, sure, Tom.
What, like, then you'll beat me at it.
I'm not going to commit to buying anything until I win at least one game against you.
That's a slippery slope, that, mate. Because you'll end up buying everything. So, but one of the other things, and this is sort of going away from Games Workshop, because we don't just talk about Games Workshop, we actually play.
We play very little Games
Workshop, the least. I think another big thing for me recently that I saw, which I thought was quite major game changing, is the Mantic Vault. Now, Mantic Games have created a vault
where they put all the naughty players.
A literal vault or a figurative one?
It's in the cloud.
Oh god!
They built a vault in the clouds.
Apparently, and there
who are they locking up in there? Angels?
No. So apparently, you can now get Basilians, yeah. So, but apparently, you can now pay them to have one of those stalls.
STLs.
Yeah.
STLs.
You can now buy an STL and 3D print the certain miniatures to your heart's content.
Okay.
See, I like this. It makes the game a lot more accessible for people.
Yeah. So you think, started with Armada, and there's some builds in Armada that you think, actually, yeah, I'd love to have 8 Orc Hammer Fists.
Yeah.
But you were never going to buy 8 Orc Hammer Fists, but now you think, well, I bought the STL, I could print 8 Orc Hammer Fists.
Yeah.
I think the thing is that 3D printing can be good in a lot of ways, but obviously I don't know how Mantic Games produce their miniatures. I don't know if they're like injection molding or something like
resin
casting.
I think that's changed quite a lot over the years.
3D printing can be comparable in quality, but I do think that oftentimes there is a drop in quality, depending on obviously the experience of the person doing it, blah blah blah. So I think it makes sense in a lot of ways that Mantic want people to engage with their games, because the more people engage with their games, the more people will buy their games.
And I think that's Mantic's
mantra,
isn't it?
Yeah. They've always had that mantra.
Buy our rule set, play with what you like.
Use whatever models you want. Which to some people is so alien, it almost puts them off. I think it does put, people just
going back to Games Workshop, you can't use a non-GW model in Warhammer World.
No. But
in like any part of that model, can't be game. It has to be. It all has to be Games Workshop.
There was an interesting analogy to this once, and this is sort of going back. But for any of the companies out there, Mantic are different. They're the one that really stands out and says you can use whatever you want. They don't care, do they?
They're not like other games companies.
No, they're certainly not. To be fair, we do know that. And it's quite interesting that Games Workshop say you can't use this in our shops and so on and so forth. But there's a really interesting analogy I heard once, and the guy was just like, well, if you worked for Coca-Cola and you went into Coca-Cola's factory, would you drink a Pepsi?
Yes.
And the world implodes as soon as
I probably would. I mean, I'd just stand there, just get a Pepsi. I wouldn't even use my hand. I'd just sort of grab it between my teeth and go. You can't stop me now.
It's their rules. It's their place. Do you know what I mean? But I think the interesting thing is that this is. I know Modifius have sold STLs in that past.
Yes, so Modifius do it for terrain, and that's great. I've never seen anyone do it for actual miniatures.
And I've never seen anyone say, we actually sell these in box sets, but hey, you can also buy it as an STL. And I think that's a really interesting move. I'm not sure if it'll...
I suppose it depends on how much you pay for the vault, and I assume there's got to be some licensing that says you can't buy or can't get the STL and then start modelling these and selling them off.
Yeah, I presume there's like you can't print these and sell them. I presume.
I don't know how they.
It's probably it would probably be a case of if you start selling their products, like if you start selling models based on their STLs, which they'll be like, bad boy. Don't do that.
I mean, I imagine
Cease
you'll
and
get
desist.
you'll get a cease and desist on
Yeah.
that. And I don't think.
And that's fair enough, because again, like there's a few things you've got to think about that go into making a model. The design, the manufacturing, the advertisement, and the actual selling of it. Like Games Workshop, they spend a lot on designing their models, the manufacturing process as well. I think they do I can't remember what they do. They normally do a lot of, I think they do injection. I don't remember. I looked it up once. Don't remember it now. Then they've got, they have their own stores, but they also sell to third-party wholesalers.
Yeah.
So they obviously have a big system that benefits them to not allow, to create a system where they don't sell the designs because they want to make money off those designs. And the best way to make money off the large amounts they spend to make those designs is to make their own models and then sell them at their own stores.
Yeah. But again, if you buy that STL, are you going to print 1,000 ham fists?
No.
Let's say. Or are you going to print 4 and go, that's that done?
I think for me, it's that the interesting point there is Games Workshop have this fleet of stores. They are definitely the big boy in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
They have that retail presence. People know and recognise Warhammer. Mantic have one place, from what I can tell. They have their head office, which is a lovely store, and the guys are lovely. If you're ever in Nottingham, do go and see them, because they are so welcoming, aren't they? Such nice people. But if you can 3D print their products, if you're on the Isle of Skye somewhere and thinking, oh, me and my one mate want to start playing this game, but we can't get to a shop, we can 3D print our fleet. And I think that's the accessibility part of it. So anyone around the world can 3D print these miniatures now and play the game, which I think is a bit groundbreaking, to be honest with you. But it's interesting. I'm interested to see what becomes of it, and if it becomes will every company have so many things that they STL sell?
Maybe. It's early days, I suppose. But
because the thing is, as 3D printing has become more accessible and cheaper, like, even you're doing it now. That's okay. That's a bit of a.
If I can do it,
Sorry.
anyone can do it.
I mean, in all fairness, you just did call them a stool.
Yeah.
He did call it a stool.
Yeah. I have this program and I put the thing
Put
in.
it in, and then you set
And I
it.
move it and I go, I move it up a bit, and then I press this button and it just puts all these little things on it, and then that just comes out.
Yeah,
It's
then
great.
wow. But
Somebody somewhere is going, oh my god!
it's like the thing to say that 3D printing is going to play a part in miniature gaming. It plays a big part in online discussion as well. Places just outright ban people from doing any 3D printing, and it's fair enough because with copyright, obviously the designs are copyrighted.
I think there's a big difference, and I think this is the other side of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that you've got people saying this is our actual STL of a miniature that we've designed and we've paid to design, and we've got all the the IPS and the what is it, intellectual protocol on it and all this sort of thing. Intellectual property, that's it.
The internet service provider.
To somebody on there saying, I will just copy that and just change it slightly and call it a Space Warrior and sell them. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a big difference there.
Yeah. But as opposed to someone actually selling their own STLs for people to print, I think I like it. I want to see where it goes. I want to see. I wish them the best, and I want it to succeed, so more places start doing it. Because I think it's nice to have options. It's like it could even just be a thing of I need this part. I need this individual part that I lost or I broke or I need multiple copies of because I want to do a sweet conversion. And having access to STLs means you don't have to go to bits resellers. You don't have to go to the store and beg to look in their box.
That's a very, very good point, to be fair.
It would give some freedom, but obviously I can understand why a lot of companies are hesitant to do it because because the thing about these these manufacturing and design processes, it's not actually that expensive once everything's made and tooled up to produce a single product. It doesn't cost Games Workshop much to just take plastic and shape it into a Bane pencil. What's really costing is making the machines to make the sprues. to make the actual design for the sprues and for the model. So they want to recoup that investment. So you can understand why a company would be hesitant to go, here's this design we spent a load of money on. We're going to sell it to you really cheap compared to actually buying the product because you wouldn't spend a lot of money on just a file. And you can now pay, all the rest of the cost doesn't go to them. You don't pay that for resin. You don't pay them for a 3D printer. So it's obviously, I can understand companies being hesitant to want to do something like this. But also, it's good for consumers who have a 3D printer. It allows them to be more choosy.
Yes.
Maybe not choosy, that's not the right word.
No, I suppose
I know where you're going with
it
it.
opens up more avenues, doesn't it? And I guess I think the point there is it'll be exciting to see if other people, not necessarily release everything, but a range of miniatures. Or even their starter set. Actually you can pay us for the STL for this, but then you are opening, like to Leo's point, an STL for a starter set for Games Workshop. You could print Space Marine army off that.
Yeah, because again, a lot of the designs will just, especially any design, you can then take that,
slice it
up, take it, and just repurpose it
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. And at that point, it can be quite hard to tell what because once everything's built and painted, someone can just say, "Oh no, this is 3D printed. This is just a conversion. This is green stuff. This is."
I suppose though, would you be able to do it for, say, Space Marines? Because you're talking about Armada. You've got 6 different ships, let's say, for a fleet. Whereas on a Space Marine sprue, you've got the ability to make 20, 30 different looking miniatures.
So
whereas if you're printing them, they're all going to look
the same.
the same.
Unless you print that sprue, effectively.
And then actually printing sprues, people aren't going to print sprues because then you're wasting resin on the sprue bit. It's quite an interesting debate, and I think that's probably a video by itself, isn't it?
One that requires a lot more research.
Yes.
than just things I can remember off the top of my head because I didn't know what we were doing.
You can print a miniature, but you're not going to necessarily print a modular
entire
team,
army.
gang, squad, whatever.
Because they fit together differently. It's like, I'm going to print up a whole army, and they're all just like monopose.
Second edition drops. But so interesting, and it's interesting to see where it goes, I think. And I'm sure there's people out there that will love the fact it's all 3D printed. And there's people out, let's be honest, there's people out there with Games Workshop armies that they're 3D printed the whole thing. So, and we're not judging, it's whatever you want to do.
It's not going to stop people doing it.
No. I mean, because, some things similar to that have existed for a long time, because we had recasting. That was a big thing. It's basically people just took miniatures and recast them in.
It still happens now.
Technically, it violated their copyright. It was illegal. You couldn't really resell them, and they would not let you play with them if they thought it was recast. And it was banned from a lot of online trading places and all that. But people still did it because it saved money. If there's any people will want to try and save money because it's an expensive hobby, and Games Workshop probably more expensive than most. I mean, admittedly, their quality models, they're still more expensive. Like, I want to buy a box of Imperial Guardsmen, £30. I want to buy 5 Tempestus Scions, £35. Actually, I don't think they're £35, but they're more than I really feel comfortable spending for 5 models.
Totally. And again, I think that's probably that in itself is another debate.
To be fair, I don't really need to buy any more Tempestus Scions. God, I've got too much Imperial Guard. I've got like 3, 4 of those starter boxes for the Tempestus Scions, so I've got a whole bunch of Scions, a bunch of Commissars and Tauroxes. God, I've got too much Imperial Guards. Maybe I just need to go through them and sell some stuff.
Coming soon, the bunker store.
Yes, so a segue into like the sort of next part that we wanted to sort of talk about, because we've gone off completely off kilter.
We always do.
Is sort of our own hobby, what we're doing at the minute. Apparently people want to know what we're doing in our hobby world. So Rob, what are you doing?
I've been in a bit of a lull, to be honest. I came back off holiday.
Okay.
I finished my War on Terror guys that we got sent. And then I just hit a big wall and went, I don't want to do anything. But that being said, I bought my Rumble Slam gang or team, whatever you want to call them.
What did you say?
Rumble Slam.
Rumble Slam.
Rumble Slam.
It's fantasy wrestling.
It's very fun.
Like WWE.
I bought
That
the Triassic 5 and they're all dinosaurs.
That sounds
And an ocelot.
fantastic. Oh
So
my
I've
god,
got-
I'm gonna have to
I've
look
got
at that.
an Orc Hulk Hogan coming.
I was about to go, oh yeah! But that's not Hulk Hogan,
So-
that's Randy Savage.
Macho Man! Oh my god. Yeah.
And I love I like wrestling. I haven't watched as much recently. WWE, I kind of felt like, ooh, I don't really want to watch this anymore.
Right.
I feel kind of bad. Vince McMahon is giving people head injuries. Okay, there's a bit of context missing.
I have no idea about wrestling.
So Rob knows very little about wrestling.
Yeah.
So we tried playing Rumble Slam, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's like a DDT and a superplex and a shooting star press," and he was just like, "What?" I think you probably need to try Rumble Slam.
It's great fun.
It's great fun. That was what I was going to talk about. Actually, I'm really excited about Rumble Slam.
I a lot of stuff for Rumble Slam. A steam or a...
Are they,
They're like a
do they call
stable.
them a stadium?
No, so they come from casinos. So the different casinos,
Right.
and they put like together a team. So basically, they just went, "Please don't fight big wars. Wrestle instead."
So it's kind of
we
like,
all know that you sort everything out in the ring.
so it's like Blood Bowl,
Mm.
except
It's
wrestle.
very much
Wrestling.
like Blood. Probably,
Yeah, and you can like go off the turnbuckle and showboat, and there's heels, and there's an expansion where you can take it outside the ring.
Oh,
Tables, ladders, and chests.
really?
Yeah, like there's ladders and that you can jump on.
So just what are they going to do? Like a money in the?
No, so I've got a wrestling ring.
I can't
coming.
come up with a pun.
I've got a wrestling ring coming, like an MDF wrestling, which you get a little Neoprene mat in the game, and the wrestling ring's like a
But obviously,
MDF
yeah.
thing, and you can like put the mat out, so it's got like the actual mat on it, and they're like high up and that, aren't they?
Oh, so actually,
It's
so, you can
awesome.
actually, so when your guy jumps off the top rope, it isn't just him who's at risk; it's his model that's at risk. It's like he's going off the top
Yeah,
rope.
pretty much,
Oh
yeah.
fuck! He just
Yeah.
snapped off that tiny
There's
piece.
even,
That's never gonna
they
stick.
even give you in the ring string to make the actual ropes.
That's amazing.
I want TT Combat to make a cage to go over the top of it. TT Combat, you have to make a cage match.
So you can't
now.
get in it to play it.
The Hell in the Cell. Hell in the Cell, but you have the actual challenge is actually getting in there. I guess you'd have to like have the lid open.
I don't know how you do that, would you?
Like,
You just have an open room.
I guess yeah, that wouldn't work. You'd have to have like the lid be able to take off, and then when they climb up on top of it, you just have to
I
put
never
it back
thought of
on.
that. I was like, make a cage match. And you're like,
It
why
was
would you
such a
actually
good
play it?
You have to come in from
like
under.
Tank Commanders
Yeah.
push model tank runners with that.
So the game itself is crazy. So you have like, it's only it's a 10 by 10 square ring. You go in opposite corners.
No context on the size of the square there.
Yeah, no.
10 by 10.
But they're all a foot
Like-
wide.
It's 10 by 10 bananas long.
They're like,
Oh.
like 25 mil each, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you have 5 people. Up to, depending on how many
Depends how
points
much.
you play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 4 people play. You don't increase the size. You just put 4 crews in the ring, and then it's a
Oh,
royal,
yeah.
it's like a royal rumble. So you have to throw them over the top, or pin them. Or it's one of the best games I've ever played.
I'm going to have a look at that when I get back.
It's great fun.
Yeah,
This is-
And you can go down
Obviously,
a massive rabbit hole and
Obviously,
play
I
it.
have to wait until I beat Tom at it before I can buy it.
Well, we're probably going to be playing it again soon. We have got multiple crews
Yes.
with us. We could do it.
I would love to go with that.
Yeah, it's great fun.
That sounds amazing.
It is an incredible game. It's really, really good fun. So that's probably my hobby highlight at the minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm painting that up. That's what
Yeah.
put me back in.
So Rumble Slam, I did the starter set and it sat on my shelf for ages because we just didn't get a chance to play it, did we? Played it, thought this is possibly one of the best games I've ever played, and that's hands down is God's honest truth. So then I ordered some more bits and pieces. I've got like a Beastman team coming, and like.
So I presume it's got like your normal fantasy races. So
Yes,
What do
but
you
then
say it's
also,
races?
but then
It's
also
just
unicorns
random. Oh.
and a giant cactus man.
I love Steve.
Of course, it's got a Cactus Man.
You get Steve
Oh,
the
God.
alien and a cow.
I can't remember what it's called now. What is it?
Cactus Jack.
Cactus Jack.
Yeah, he's
Cool.
an actual cactus.
I was about to say Cactus Joe.
Yeah, no, he's an actual cactus.
Different guy.
And It's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. Well, like, you'll have to have a go. You'll have to go. So that's my probably hobby highlight at the minute.
Is there a mankind faction?
I think I've missed a reference again.
Mankind was a wrestler.
He's a wrestler. Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's my sort of hobby highlight, was finding Rumbleslam and playing it. And I've just been painting like crazy for War Daddy miniatures again. I've done like it's got to be at least a 4K army.
Nice.
Anyway, but no, it's really good fun, and you know, check it if you want. I put it all on our Instagram, so if you want to follow that, that'd be great. But yeah, he's a really nice guy as well. He's Jack. He's a really nice bloke. So if you want second-hand models, check out War Daddy Miniatures, I guess. You haven't paid us to say that. But play Rumbleslam, so we've been talking about how great Rumbleslam is for about half an hour. But you, Leo, what have you been doing? It's Conquest, is it for you?
Yeah, Conquest for me. I've been painting up all of my little wagon guys. You know,
yeah.
I was painting up some models today and I fell asleep pretty much. I fell asleep at the brush.
Now, adding some context, that's because you've been up since 5 o'clock this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, not because the models are shit.
No. The models are great. Like, I love my little wagons.
Yeah.
Some of them are a little bit weird with their feet.
What?
Their feet are a little bit funny. They're not.
What, like?
Yeah, the toes are a bit.
Are we talking about the model?
No,
miniature?
just my feet.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, my toes they spread out like frog toes. Yeah. Anyway.
You've been moving on.
Yeah, it's mostly been wagon for me. I've been building stuff, painting stuff, getting bits ready.
Yeah.
I've done a bit of the Warzone. No, Dead Zone. That's
Yeah. So that's probably a nice segue into like what we're doing in the future. So we had 4 crews for Dead Zone provided by Mantic. Thank you very much, Mantic, and loads of terrain. So Joe is painting all the terrain up and has taken the Vermin. Leo's got the Plague. I have got the Asterans, the little elven robot things, and you've got.
I've got my GCPS.
So we're all going to paint it up and then we're going to play some Dead Zone, which is great.
That's what you think.
We're going to be painting Witcher models.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll be painting Rob's arm. But yeah, so coming up soon, I guess. So we're going to a couple of tournaments, aren't we? So we're going to the LGT to play Conquest. Which would be cool. So I don't think there'll be masses of players there, but we're sort of brand new to it. We've only ever played each other.
Actually see a different army. You know, I know how to fight spies. I know how to lose against spies, but I don't know any of the other factions. So it'll be nice to play something other than weird little drone people.
Or freaky puppet.
And their spies army.
Okay. Yeah. And obviously we've got Picklefest coming up.
Picklefest, yeah.
So Picklefest is coming up at the end of July, which should be really good. It's like a road trip, and it's we don't really know what's going on, do we?
No, not a clue.
It's Josh from the Pickle Town is putting Picklefest on. We're going to put a Legion game on. Dave from MS Paints is going to be there. Tony's going to be there. That's the main thing for me, Tony. And we're just going to have a bit of fun, I guess, and just see what happens. But yeah, sure, it should be interesting. There's lots coming up, I guess.
Hope you have a good Pickle Fest.
Yeah, well, hopefully. But yeah, so I guess all is left to do is do the bit that we should have done at the beginning, but it should really be at the end.
Yeah.
So
Patreon and
so
subscribing.
Yeah, I guess it's. So thank you to everybody who subscribes, who is a Patreon, who backs us on various things. The reason we've started doing this is because we have plans to expand, eventually into a space, which is not just mine.
Yeah, we're going to expand into
Living
space
room.
like Jeff Bezos.
If we get to that sort of level, you can all have a job.
So if you can make billions from this YouTube channel, then we can have a job.
Yeah. Billions of pounds, not them Witcher coins.
Yeah, the food.
Yeah. However,
those monies.
So if you would like to back us on Patreon, it starts at £2 a month, so it doesn't break the bank, and it allows us just to, I guess, bring more content and get more out there and expand and so on and so forth. And we have got some plans coming up and some exciting things coming up. So if you can't do that, please do not worry about it. Subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, ask your gaming mates to subscribe. It all makes a massive difference, it really does. And thank you for everybody who's watching, supporting us, so on and so forth. It does make a massive difference to us, and it lets us be crazy on the internet and get away with it.
Well, I mean, you don't need Patreon to be crazy on the internet. You need Patreon to get paid to be crazy on the internet.
There it is. If you enjoyed this format of us just rambling madness, then let us know. Give us a thumbs up, give us a sub, give us a share. Drop a comment below if you want us to do it again. Drop a comment below if you want us to be quiet and never see us again. And if you do want us to do another one, give us some topics. Let us know what.
Ask us questions.
Ask us questions. Ask us questions. I like that.
Yeah.
Ask us questions. Maybe we'll do it so one lucky Patreon can be part of it via web link, via satellite phone.
Unless they're near, then they can come here.
Yeah, true.
That's probably easier.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. The madness doesn't end.
I mean,
Bunker will return.
I'm just confused. Why did you describe them as lucky?
Just cut to the end. Cut to the B-roll. Cut to the B-roll.